What's up, and back to another installment of our Foundations of Craftsman Kits. Tonight we're going to bang out a lot of stuff, so make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell notification to get all of our updates, and hit that like button if you are enjoying this series. All right, we're going to be doing a lot of roof work tonight. So we got our brick structure and our wood structure here. We also have our pre-painted, I accidentally painted the wrong side by accident until I realized what I was doing, the roof cards for this kit. So we have both the roof cards ready to go, and I only painted the undersides. That way when they're on the structures, you don't see that cardboard cardstock from the underside. That way it's just black. So I went ahead and did that already. I also found this paper that was within the kit, the roofing paper template, and I already painted that also. I don't know what this is, but we'll cut around that. We also went out and pre-painted this with the same black flat spray paint that I use for the other stuff. So both of those are ready to go. The first step is going to be to apply our roof cards. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think that these will work. I'm just going to do a test fit. Yeah, it's going to be perfect. Okay, so we just bend it at the seam here. And we're going to just do a dry fitting. Make sure it's good, looks good. And I'm just going to take some of my wood glue and run it up each side of the peak of this roof. Don't mind my finger here. I lost a fight with a... I don't even remember what I did. Oh, it was yesterday. I was taking my uncle and my dad down in the basement, and I accidentally clipped my hand on the side of the block wall corner in my basement. And now got a nice little dinger on my finger. All right, here we go. Just gonna line up those peaks. Hold that down. Might take a little bit of pressure just to keep it down. So what we're going to do is get our weights, or in our case, our hockey pucks, and weight that roof down. I'm going to set it offside and do the other roof real quick without fumbling. I have a better idea. How about we put it upside down and put the puck on the other one? Bingo. Solution. All right. Okay, let's do the other structure. So this one has the cardstock roof, not the task board roof. But we're just going to do the same thing. Run a bead of glue. That's a lot of glue. Run a bead of glue around the top edge of the roof. I'm sorry, the top edge of the wall. Okay, 2 more lines here. Okay, all right, and then doing the same thing, I'm just gonna try to line this up evenly here, and boom. Stick that down on the wall. Like so. So I'm going to get another puck, put some pressure down on this. Just like that. And then let it set to dry. While that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and cut out some of these strips of the tar paper roofing. So I'm going to just cut this piece here off because it's kind of an odd width. I might just use this if I need it for some joiner pieces or some scrap. But we're going to go ahead and cut a few of these off, following the template. I'm not going to cut the whole. I might need it all. Who knows? All right, well, I'm going to cut a few of these and then come back when I have them all sliced up, so you don't have to watch me cut like 16 of them. All right, now that these are all cut over here, and this roof is dry enough to go, it was probably 20 minutes or so till it's dry enough to touch and it's set. We're going to squeeze some more. Hang on, gotta get more wood glue. All right, we're back in action. We are going to put more wood glue on the, or just wood glue, I'm sorry, on the roof. And to do that, I'm gonna actually use a brush. So I got a crummier brush. I'm not gonna use one of my nice brushes. And we're gonna start from the bottom and apply our wood glue. I'm gonna do about an inch. You can also use transfer paper for this. You don't have to use glue. Some people use double-sided transfer tape, not paper, tape. I think 3M makes it, double-sided tape. Yeah, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use wood glue. I always use wood glue. I'm going to find the length for one pass, about, roughly. Like that. I'm going to check the photo of this, actually, just for one thing. I thought so. Okay. So, going to place it, the bottom strip on, line up the edge, and have this end hang out over the edge just a little bit. I'm going to come back through and trim those up later. All right, same thing. Trim. And overlap the bottom edge of the, or I'm sorry, the top edge of the previous layer. Just a little bit. That way it's overlapping. And this piece is good, because now what we're going to do is create a section of the tar paper where you're going to see that seam. Well, you won't see it quite yet, but you'll see it when we weather it more. We'll expose that cut there. So just do that. I'm going to get a little bit more glue. Lather this bad boy up. Continue applying. I think we're going to get one more row on, and that is going to be where I use one of these other pieces. So the kit came with that template, and the end pieces weren't quite the same width as the middle pieces of tar paper on the template. So what I'll do with that is find the one that works the best. That's that one right there. Just to match up to the edge, to the seam, I mean, of the roof, the top. The peak of the roof, sorry. There we go. One side's done. Let's flip it over and do the other side. You get this point, so I'm going to just do this here and then come right back. Forget about it. We'll do it. You guys like watching me, I think. I hope. If you're with me this far, you like watching me. Making sure we weren't coming up there. We're good. Okay. All right. Start with that bottom bit of glue and do the same thing. I'm actually, just for a little bit of variation, I'm going to throw in on this side just 2 small pieces. Just to throw in that random pattern. . Okay. A little more glue. Throw in my little guy. Actually, I'm going to do it from this side. I want that over here. And then, okay. Now we have it all the way up to the peak. I'm just going to trim these off, and then we're going to do the peak, the seam at the peak here. So the easiest way to do this, I find, is to flip it over. Just cut that excess off like that. There we go. Do the same thing over here. Done. Now it's nice and tight up against the edge of the roof. And then for our ridge seam, I'm just going to take a piece and bend it over the middle. But to do that, I'm just going to grab a metal ruler, line it up down the center of my piece of tar paper, and get a hobby knife and bend this up. Gets a nice bend in it. I'll show you here. Once I make sure it's a nice even bend. Okay. There we go. Bent down the middle. I'm going to open it up. Put some glue on it. Should be enough. And then we're just going to apply it to the ridge seam. Done. Get you back on the camera here. Finish that off. And then same thing, just flip it over. Get right up against the edge of it and snip it off. There we go. Our roof is done for this building, for this part of the structure. Whenever we come back over with our weathering parts or weathering pigments and stuff, you'll see the seams of the tar paper they'll be much more pronounced. They'll stand out a little better. So let's go do the other structure. This one's going to be the same way, same general method. We're going to start down here and work our way to the top. So you always start at the bottom, work your way up. If it's a flat roof, it doesn't matter. But this one has a slight angle to it the whole way across. So here we go. Again, I'm just going to cut a little random small piece just to make it look like when they're rolling it out, they hit the end of that roll and started a new section of tar paper roof. You don't have to do that on every piece, but it's cool to throw that in. Breaks up the pattern of just lines going straight across. Okay. Continue to go, making sure we're overlapping, not because it needs to be waterproof or anything. It's not gonna be raining on your layout, hopefully. Jeez. But you know, you still want there to be a little overlap. So this corner here, right here where my paintbrush is, that's gonna be a little tricky because there's a split and the roof line goes two separate directions. So I'll show you how I'm gonna manage that. Okay. I'm gonna throw the end piece over here this time. Take it that way. Oops. Got a little glue on the top of it. Yep. Well, that piece is scrapped. I got glue on the top, and that's gonna look like hell. All right. Shot. Attempt number 2 on this row. I fingerprinted some glue accidentally on the top. And that's just going to end up drying shiny. You don't want that look on there. You don't want that shiny fingerprint smudge on the top of your roof. You can't add puddles with some glue. That's something we can show you then. Here's a little scrap piece I can use. But you don't want it to look like an actual fingerprint. That's just going to look ridiculous. All right, so now we're down to this funky section, and I have this thin piece of tar paper roofing that I saved, which was a leftover from the end of the paper, and I think I'm just going to be able to slap it down right there, and yeah, that's going to be good there. And then same with this section here. Just because it splits, it's got to rise right in the middle of it, so I'm just going to push it in and form it to that split in the roof. There we go. All right, and we're just going to continue back along up the rise, the higher rise part now, the section that transitions into the brick structure. And for this, I think I can just cut a couple of small pieces off and get my way up through the rest of this. Okay. There we go. Just a little more glue to finish this off. Okay. All right. I think one more piece will do it. There we go. That's it. I'm going to trim all these edges off here like I did on the first structure. Okay. Come back around, do it to this side. There we go. All of the tar paper roofing has been applied. When we weather it, you'll see these lines that are here. They'll show up much better. There we go. We're getting there with this kit, guys. We're getting close. So the next one, we'll be applying the decking to the kit and then doing some windows and detail parts. And then that's going to be a wrap for this one. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed another installment of this episode. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell, and give us a big old thumbs up. Have a good one.